My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to speak to you about something profoundly simple, yet deeply powerful. The courage to choose yourself when no one else does. There are times in life when the world may turn its back, when friends may walk away, when voices of doubt surround you, whispering that you are not enough. And yet, it is precisely in those moments when the support of others fades that the opportunity to stand taller rises. Choosing yourself does not mean arrogance. It means trust in the purpose within you, faith in the ability you possess, and the willingness to take the first step, even when the path seems lonely. It is in those quiet, solitary moments that character is forged and strength is revealed. My dear friends, never underestimate the power of one heart that dares to believe in itself. For when you choose yourself, you set in motion a force that no obstacle can contain. Belief in oneself is the seed from which every success, every accomplishment, and every act of courage grows. It is the foundation upon which the house of resilience is built. And without it, no structure of achievement can endure. To truly choose yourself, to stand firm in the face of doubt or rejection, must first cultivate a deep, unwavering sense of trust in your own abilities. This self-belief is not born of pride or arrogance, but rather from understanding that you are a creation with potential, purpose, and unique gifts that no one else can replicate. When others may falter in their support, when voices of discouragement surround you, it is your own belief in your value that becomes your anchor. Many of us live our lives waiting for validation from others, seeking approval as though our worth depends on it. We measure our capabilities by the applause we receive, the recognition we earn, or the acknowledgement of those around us. And yet, the truth is, there will always be moments when that recognition is absent. There will always be times when the crowd is silent, when friends are distant, when family doubts, and when society does not understand your vision. In such moments, if you have not yet nurtured a deep belief in yourself, you may find your spirit faltering. But when you carry within you a steadfast faith in your own potential, no external absence can shake your conviction. You become your own champion, your own source of encouragement, and your own measure of worth. Self-belief is not merely a passive feeling. It is a daily practice, a conscious decision to affirm your capabilities, even in the face of fear. It is the quiet voice that tells you you are enough and you are capable when every other voice says otherwise. It is the choice to take action when hesitation tempts you to wait for someone else's approval. This belief manifests itself through consistency, through showing up for yourself even when circumstances are difficult. It manifests in the courage to pursue goals, to take risks, and to remain steadfast despite setbacks. The journey to self-belief often begins with small steps, trusting yourself to make simple decisions, acknowledging your progress, and speaking kindly to yourself rather than harshly. One of the greatest obstacles to self-belief is the comparison trap. In a world dominated by social media and constant exposure to others' achievements, it is easy to look at what someone else has accomplished and doubt your own potential. You may think, I am not as talented, as successful, or as capable as they are, forgetting that each individual's journey is unique. Your path is yours alone. And self-belief requires recognizing that your worth is not determined by others' milestones. It is about understanding that your strengths, your experiences, and your contribution are valuable in ways that may not always be immediately visible. Cultivating this awareness allows you to stand firmly in your own capabilities rather than seeking validation through comparison. Belief in oneself also involves embracing failure not as a reflection of inadequacy, but as a teacher guiding you toward growth. Those who achieve greatness do not do so because they have never failed, but because they have persisted with faith in their own abilities, learning from each misstep along the way. When you truly believe in yourself, Failure becomes a temporary event, not a permanent identity. It is the recognition that one setback does not erase your worth, nor does it diminish your capacity to succeed. This mindset fosters resilience. And resilience strengthens self-belief further. A cycle is created the more you trust yourself. The more courage you have to try, the more you try, more experience you gain. And the more experience you gain, the stronger your belief in yourself becomes. Another critical aspect of self-belief is the awareness that your inner voice, your intuition, and your convictions hold immense power. Too often, we are swayed by external opinions, seeking guidance from every direction except within. We may receive advice, encouragement, or criticism, and while these inputs can be valuable, they should never overshadow the wisdom and insight that comes from knowing ourselves. Choosing yourself means listening to your own instincts, honoring your own judgment, and trusting that with effort and sincerity, you can navigate challenges, even when no one else offers direction. It is an act of spiritual and psychological empowerment by believing in yourself. You acknowledge that your Creator has endowed you with the faculties, talents, and resilience necessary to fulfill your purpose. Self-belief also demands patience and perseverance. It is easy to be confident when success comes swiftly, but true self-belief is forged in moments of struggle, when results are delayed, and when the world seems indifferent to your efforts. It requires holding firm to your values, maintaining your efforts, and reminding yourself that progress is not always immediately visible. Some of the greatest achievements in history were born from years of unseen labor from individuals who never wavered in their belief in themselves despite rejection, doubt, or failure. Their example teaches us that self-belief is not a fleeting emotion, it is a commitment, a steady light that guides you through the darkest nights. Finally, choosing yourself and nurturing self-belief is an act of liberation. When you trust yourself, you are no longer confined by the approval of others, by the fear of judgment, or by the limitations others attempt to impose. You step into a space of freedom where your decisions are guided by your own understanding of right and wrong, your own aspirations, and your own potential. This freedom is deeply empowering, for it allows you to take ownership of your life, to pursue goals that resonate with your soul, and to create a path defined not by circumstance or external expectation, but by your own courage and conviction. Belief in oneself is a lifelong journey. It is nurtured through reflection, action, and patience. It grows as you overcome obstacles, as you learn from mistakes, and as you celebrate the small victories along the way. It is the foundation of resilience, the source of courage, and the starting point for choosing yourself when no one else does. And when you carry this belief within your heart, you discover a truth more powerful than any external validation, that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you have the ability to rise, to persevere, and to shine even in the absence of applause, recognition, or support from the world around you. In the end, self-belief is more than confidence. It is a declaration of purpose. It is a whisper to your soul, reminding you that you have been gifted with unique abilities and that the responsibility to honor them rests with you. It is the quiet strength that allows you to stand when others doubt, to act when others hesitate, and to choose yourself when no one else does. In embracing this truth, you unlock a life of courage, resilience, and meaningful achievement. A life guided not by the opinions of others, but by the unwavering belief in your own potential. There are moments in life when we find ourselves alone, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Perhaps it is a time when others fail to understand us, when support seems absent, or when the world appears indifferent to our struggles. These moments can feel heavy, isolating, and even painful, but it is in these very moments that the strength of our character is tested and forged. Resilience in solitude is not simply about surviving when alone. It is about thriving, finding strength strength within, and discovering a well of courage that no one else can provide. It is the ability to rise despite absence, to persevere despite discouragement, to continue walking forward when the familiar comfort of companionship is missing. Life does not always align with our expectations, and we are often faced with periods when help is scarce or non-existent. Learning to be resilient in such times is a profound lesson that shapes our inner fortitude, teaching us that the greatest strength is often cultivated in silence. Solitude in itself is not a curse. Rather, it can be a blessing when embraced with the right perspective. In solitude, we are granted the space to reflect, to evaluate our goals, and to strengthen our connection with our own heart and mind. It is a time when distractions fall away, and we are left with only our thoughts, our emotions, and our intentions. This quiet space allows us to understand who we truly are, what we truly desire, and what we are capable of achieving without relying on external affirmation. Resilience in solitude is born from this deep self-awareness. It is the courage to trust oneself, even when external voices are silent. It is in these moments of isolation that we discover our inner reservoir of determination, creativity, and faith. Many people struggle with solitude because it forces them to confront uncertainty and vulnerability. When no one else is around to reassure us, to guide us, or to share our burdens, the mind can be flooded with doubt. We may ask ourselves, am I doing the right thing? Will I ever succeed? Is anyone noticing my efforts? These questions can be overwhelming if left unchecked, but they also present an opportunity. Resilience in solitude teaches us that we can face these doubts directly and choose to continue moving forward regardless. It is the realization that our worth, our capability, and our progress are not dictated by the presence of others, but by our own perseverance and belief in ourselves. Every step taken in solitude, every decision made despite fear, becomes a testament to our inner strength and unwavering spirit. Developing resilience in solitude requires patience, self-compassion, and deliberate action. It begins with accepting that there will be times when external support is limited or absent. Instead of resenting the lack of help, resilient individuals use this time to cultivate their own abilities, to deepen their understanding, and to prepare for the challenges ahead. Solitude becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more self-reliant. It teaches us the invaluable lesson that even when the world seems distant, our capacity to endure, adapt, and succeed remains intact. Each trial faced alone becomes a stepping stone, a proof of endurance, and a reminder that strength is not always visible, but it is always present when nurtured with patience and perseverance. Resilience in solitude is also intertwined with faith and spiritual reliance. When human support is scarce, turning inward and upward provides comfort, guidance, and reassurance. Those who possess resilience in solitude often cultivate a profound trust in a higher power, recognizing that they are never truly alone, even when surrounded by silence. This spiritual connection strengthens the soul, offering hope when circumstances are bleak and courage when the heart feels weak. Through prayer, reflection, or meditation, individuals can find a sense of companionship that transcends the physical presence of others. This spiritual dimension of resilience teaches us that even in complete solitude, there is a source of support, encouragement, and guidance that is unfailing. It is also important to recognize that resilience in solitude is not a sign of isolationism or emotional detachment. Rather, it is the ability to stand firm when support is not immediately available. It allows individuals to maintain their focus, pursue their goals, and navigate challenges without depending entirely on external validation. Life often presents us with circumstances in which we must act alone, whether it is start a new project, making a difficult decision, or confronting personal obstacles. Those who cultivate resilience in solitude are able to face these situations with confidence and clarity, understanding that the strength to overcome resides within them. Solitude becomes not a limitation, but a teacher, a guide, and a crucible in which character is tempered. Another essential aspect of resilience in solitude is the cultivation of patience and perspective. When isolated, progress may feel slow, and challenges may appear magnified. The absence of immediate encouragement can tempt us to give up or doubt ourselves. Yet, resilience requires the recognition that growth often occurs quietly, without fanfare or applause. The patient heart understands that the work done in solitude, whether building skill, developing character, or nurturing faith, lays the groundwork for future success. It reminds us that even when unseen, our efforts are shaping our path and preparing us for opportunities that will eventually manifest. This patient endurance is a hallmark of resilience, teaching us to persevere not for recognition, but for the fulfillment of our own potential and purpose. Ultimately, resilience in solitude is a profound form of empowerment. It liberates individuals from dependency on external affirmation, allowing them to act with authenticity and confidence. It teaches that even when the world seems indifferent, one can continue to strive, to grow, and to achieve. Solitude becomes a space of strength rather than weakness, a laboratory in which courage, determination, and faith are refined. Those who master resilience in solitude learn that their true power does not lie in the presence of others, but in their ability to endure, persist, and act regardless of circumstance. Every challenge faced alone becomes an opportunity to prove to oneself that no obstacle is insurmountable when met with courage, patience, and unwavering belief. In conclusion, resilience in solitude is not simply the ability to survive. When isolated, it is the profound capacity to thrive, to remain steadfast, and to grow stronger in the absence of external support. It teaches us that strength is not always visible, encouragement is not always present, and validation is not always given, but the power to endure, the courage to act, and the wisdom to persevere are always within us. In learning to be resilient in solitude, we discover a truth that no praise or recognition can ever match, that our spirit is unshakable, our potential limitless, and our capacity to overcome infinite. Choosing to cultivate this resilience transforms solitude from a period of loneliness into a source of empowerment, guiding us toward a life of purpose, courage, and unwavering determination, even when no one else stands beside us. In life, there are moments when the path ahead seems uncertain, when the challenges we face feel heavier than our strength can bear, and when human support falls short. It is in these moments, often when we feel the most alone, that the importance of seeking divine guidance and placing our reliance upon a higher power becomes most apparent. Divine guidance is not only a source of comfort, but it is also a beacon of clarity and a foundation of resilience, reminding us that we are never truly alone, and that our efforts, when combined with faith, can be guided toward purpose and fulfillment. To rely upon a higher power is not a passive act. It is an active commitment to align our intentions, our decisions, and our actions with wisdom beyond ourselves. It is a conscious surrender of the illusion that we must carry the weight of the world on our own shoulders. Trusting in divine guidance begins with the recognition that our knowledge is limited and our perspective is finite, while the wisdom of a higher power is limitless and all-encompassing. As human beings, we often encounter situations where the choices before us seem confusing, contradictory, or overwhelming. We may feel lost in a maze of options, unsure of which direction will lead to the best outcome. In such times, divine guidance acts as a compass, illuminating the path that aligns with our ultimate good, even if we cannot immediately understand it. This reliance is an acknowledgement that while our efforts matter, the results are shaped by forces beyond our control. It is a humble surrender that allows us to act without anxiety over the unknown, confident that we are being supported and guided even when the evidence is not yet visible. Divine guidance also offers solace during moments of rejection, loneliness, or disappointment. When human support is absent, when friends turn away, or when family does not understand, one can feel abandoned and isolated. It is easy in such circumstances to feel despondent or to question one's purpose. But turning to a higher power reminds us that we are never truly alone, that our struggles are witnessed and that our efforts are never in vain. This reliance provides both strength and perspective, teaching us that our value is not determined by the opinions or presence of others, but by our sincerity, intentions, and alignment with what is good, just. It instills a sense of peace, knowing that no matter how dire the situation may seem, there is guidance, protection, and wisdom beyond our immediate understanding. The act of seeking divine guidance is not limited to moments of despair. It is a daily practice, an ongoing dialogue between the heart and the spirit. Prayer, reflection, meditation, or sincere contemplation are all ways to connect with a higher power and seek direction. This practice fosters clarity, humility, and patience. It reminds us that while we must work hard, make decisions, and take initiative, our reliance on divine guidance ensures that our actions are more than mere effort. They are aligned with wisdom that transcends our limitation. It encourages us to move forward with confidence, even when outcomes are uncertain, knowing that the steps we take in sincerity and faith are never wasted. One of the most profound aspects of divine reliance is that it cultivates resilience in the face of adversity. Life is unpredictable, and we are often confronted with trials that challenge our patience, test our values, and strain our perseverance. When we rely solely on human strength, such trials can feel insurmountable. But when we place our trust in a higher power, we are reminded that every challenge has a purpose, every difficulty is a lesson, and every delay is an opportunity for growth. This perspective transforms hardship from a source of despair into a catalyst for inner strength. It teaches us that we do not have to face life, storms alone, for guidance, and support are always available, even if invisible to the eye. Divine guidance also encourages reflection and moral accountability. When we rely upon a higher power, we become more mindful of our intentions, actions, and choices. We begin to ask ourselves whether our decisions are just ethical and aligned with values that are greater than ourselves. This mindfulness not only strengthens our character, but also ensures that the path we pursue is one of integrity and purpose. It reminds us that our journey is not solely about personal gain or recognition, but about aligning our actions with principles that honor truth, compassion, and wisdom. Reliance on divine guidance thus becomes both a compass and a conscience, shaping not just what we do, but who we become. It is important to understand that divine reliance does not negate personal responsibility. Faith in a higher power is not an excuse for inaction, passivity, or surrender to circumstance. On the contrary, it empowers us to act decisively, to persevere, and to strive toward our goals with courage and determination. The difference lies in the mindset. While human efforts are undertaken with diligence and intention, the outcomes are entrusted to the wisdom of the higher power. This balance between effort and reliance creates a sense of peace and removes the burden of constant worry or fear. It allows us to work tirelessly, make mistakes, learn and grow, while maintaining the confidence that our journeys is supported and guided. Another profound aspect of divine guidance is that it nurtures hope. Even when situations appear bleak, when rejection is frequent, and when the future feels uncertain, knowledge that a higher power is aware, caring, and guiding instills hope that sustains the heart. Hope is not a vague wish or empty optimism. It is a firm assurance that efforts, intentions, and prayers are seen, heard, and valued. It is the conviction that there is always a way forward, a lesson to be learned, and the opportunity to rise, even from the depths of despair. This hope motivates action, strengthens resilience, and keeps the spirit unwavering even in the absence of worldly support. Finally, reliance on divine guidance teaches patience and gratitude. Life, its journey is filled with trials, delays, and uncertainty. When we rely on human validation alone, impatience often overwhelms us, leading to frustration, despair, or hasty decisions. But when we place our trust in a higher power, we learn to wait with faith, understanding that timing, wisdom, and circumstances are guided beyond our immediate perception. We also cultivate gratitude, recognizing that even in struggle, we are supported, watched over, and provided for in ways that may not always be apparent. This combination of patience and gratitude transforms challenges into opportunities for spiritual growth and personal development. In conclusion, divine guidance and reliance are the anchors of the soul in moments of uncertainty and loneliness. They remind us that we are never truly alone, that wisdom extends beyond our understanding, and that every effort we make in sincerity is guided, supported, and meaningful. Relying on a higher power does not remove the responsibility to act. Rather, it empowers us to act with courage, clarity, and purpose. It nurtures resilience, hope, and patience, providing the strength to persevere. When human support is absent and illuminating the path forward even in darkness, by seeking guidance and placing reliance